Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh, my guy just bounced out, but he will be right back. Welcome back to another episode of Sports with Sunshine. Tonight, I want to say thank you to the Sports Lounge Media for powering us tonight during this episode. Thank you to our sponsors, the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection, for making Sports with Sunshine and the Sports Lounge Media what it is. All you have to do to find any of this information is go to www.sportsloungemedia.com, where you can find great shows like Sports with Sunshine, the Down South Philly Show, SLM Bets, or even the Marshall Experience. Guys, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I want to say thank you to my guest who is coming on deep from Dallas territory. Excited to have a little bit of an insider's perspective on what the heck is going on in Jerry's world. So I'm going to say thank you to my man Joseph. Go ahead, Joseph. Tell the good folks here at Sports with Sunshine where they can find you and your content, just in case we got some Dallas Cowboy lovers out there.
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok at Sports Digest 82, and I do talk about Cowboys, but I also talk about just anything happening in the sports world in general, whether that's football, basketball, baseball. But right now it's football because we're in football season right now. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man Joseph. We have got a lot to cover tonight, guys. A lot of news coming out on the Cowboys camp as it pertains to Micah Parsons. We're going to talk a little bit about Dak Prescott and what this season means to him. And then we're going to look at the Cowboys overall because, as you guys know, I'm a little bit higher on the Cowboys than some other Eagles fans might be. So we're going to get all into it. But to start, we got to talk about the hot commodity right now. And Joseph, I know it probably isn't easy to talk about Micah Parsons. The Dallas Cowboys three-time Pro Bowler has officially requested a trade per Stephen A. Jones at the Dallas Cowboys. He has officially put in his trade request now, as he's kind of been fed up with, the lack of negotiations that have going on. We know at the beginning of the offseason, Dak Prescott did ask for an extension. It seemed like he wanted to be a long-term Cowboy. Those negotiations apparently never took place. They actually apparently did take place, but behind closed doors without Micah Parsons' agent, which is a big no-no for Micah Parsons. And I think Micah Parsons might feel a little bit betrayed, but Joseph, shed some light on how this is affecting Dallas Cowboys Nation.
Well, I've talked about it all day. I've been in multiple people's shows on TikTok talking about it. I mean, in a way it affects us, but in another way it doesn't. It happens every year with the Cowboys. They do this all the time with their big name players. And for people who don't know, the Cowboys have 3 years of control on Micah. They have this year, and then they have 2 franchise tag years, and they're not letting him go worth nothing. And I think Jerry, being spiteful, will let him sit the whole 3 years if he don't want to play here. It's just, it doesn't affect me in the slightest. I think a deal does get done. I do feel like it's kind of more personal. There is some bridges to mend and fix there, but I think at the end of the day, he's going to get a deal and everybody will be all singing Kumbaya.
Yeah, I mean, you look back on the past, this is not new for Jerry Jones as it pertains to contract extensions. CeeDee Lamb went all the way up into late August, early September before he got a deal done. Dak Prescott's deal took a little bit of time. Does this kind of hamper the Dallas Cowboys in terms of their financial assets because they wait to the last minute when the market has been raised to such a level where now you have to pay Micah Parsons that $42.1 million a year, or CeeDee Lamb when he became one of the highest paid receivers? So why does this holdout kind of make it harder on Dallas financially?
I think it does because you can't build around him if you have to pay him all this money. You can't build pieces around him. Now, they have drafted some good players. I'm sure we'll talk about training camp later, but Donovan Ezeraku is a good edge rusher that we drafted. But I think it kind of does hamper us a little bit because then you got to restructure deals and pay other guys and bring new guys in. So, yeah, it kind of hampers us just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at what Micah Parsons has done during his time in Dallas. Guys, it's not like Micah Parsons has just come in and got a sack here or there. I mean, the guy is a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's a 3-time All-Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year, has recorded 52 and a half sacks, 9 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries during his time in Dallas. The guy has done all of the legwork. He hasn't missed that many games. He missed, 6 games? Total a year ago is the most he ever missed?
I think it was like 12 or 13 in his whole 4 years or 5 years, so.
I mean, that's insane. You're talking about insane production. Micah Parsons is breathed in the same breath as Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, TJ Watt. He is mentioned with all of these great edge rushers as a premier edge rusher in this league. So I think if I'm Micah Parsons and I'm seeing us do deals with Jake Ferguson, I'm seeing us do deals with Dak Prescott, who has actually been more hurt than Micah Parsons has been. I'm seeing us do deals with CeeDee Lamb, and I'm thinking, where's my cut of the pie? I'm a 3-time All-Pro. I'm a 4-time Pro Bowler. Like, where is my cut? Why am I being left out in Target? I mean, they went and signed, Dante Fowler, an older edge rusher, before they re-signed Micah Parsons. I just feel like this is a lot more personal to Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just how the Joneses do business, unfortunately. And I mean, to the credit of them, Micah is kind of going after them in a public standing, which is not really a good thing to do. I mean, CD did it last year with the holdout, which kind of hurt him. And I mean, not like production wise, but he missed training camp, he got hurt, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, Mike is standing 10 toes down, and I back him. He deserves the money. He's worth anything. Give him a blank check. I mean, he's worth it all, honestly. So.
100%. And you look at so many different Cowboys that are coming to the defense of Micah, right? Overshawn posted his new profile picture on Twitter. That was a picture of Micah Parsons. You've seen Des Bryant publicly make a declaration.
Trayvon Diggs also did. So
yep, to him, CeeDee Lamb has made public that he's not happy with it. So you can obviously tell that the team is on Micah's side, right? Because all of these guys have to deal with Jerry Jones too whenever they're getting a contract done. I just think that when we look at what Micah Parsons has done, you're not just going to find another Micah Parsons lying around.
No.
So you need to take care of your star franchise guys.
That's why when people don't like trade him and get three or four first round picks, you can't promise or guarantee one of those picks are going to be the talent of Micah Parsons, and you got 2 or 3 years to build him up and train him and everything. So I mean,
no, 100%. Like, you're basically just betting at that point. And a lot of Eagles fans are like, oh, love to see him in Philly. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Eagles fans, we're not gonna part with the young talent we have. And now, don't get me wrong, if a deal was put on the table, Micah Parsons is far too talented to not at least hear it out. But don't put your eggs in that basket. Micah
I also don't know if y'all
Parsons
could afford him either. Like the price tag be very high. So
yeah, it's $42 million a year. We can't pay him and Jalen Carter, guys. You got to take one,
Right.
one or the other. But yeah, Micah Parsons, he's an important part of Dallas. Now with him on the outs, I agree with you. I do think a deal will end up being done. I don't necessarily know that this is like the end of Micah's time in Dallas, but it certainly feels.
It feels like it for sure. Yeah, it definitely.
Like it's way different than the Terry McLaurin situation.
Just go to like have like a nice steak dinner, Jerry. Have some like Johnny Walker Blue and apologize about everything. Give him a 5-year, $200 million contract, $45 million guaranteed or whatever, and call it a day. That's all you got to do.
And I think he's earned that. I completely agree with Joseph.
100%.
I think he's earned that. And that's coming from an Eagles fan, guys. I hate Dallas just as much as you guys will. We got Down South coming up in the chat. He thinks Micah will be paid on September 4th, ready to rock and roll in Philadelphia for the band.
Just like Dak still last year. He got paid hours before the Cleveland Browns game, week 1. Or I think that was Dak. So I mean, you never know, man.
That's an insane way to go about contract negotiation.
Micah gets paid 5 hours before game time, comes out there, sacks Jalen Hurts 2 times. It'd be a nice
all
night.
is forgiven. All is forgiven, man. Everything is forgiven if that happens.
We ruined banner night for the Eagles. It'd be crazy. But anyways,
it's what makes the rivalry, right? So Micah Parsons, I think we both agree he'll probably end up as a Dallas Cowboy, but water is hot in Dallas. I think the situation's a little bit different than Terry McLaurin's. But another name in Dallas right now, in my opinion. Oh, look at this man right here. We're going to show this just for the sake of the show. He says, gotta love it when 2 Dallas Cowboys content creators get together. So I don't know if you know, but in fantasy, I did take.
Oh, yeah, I was watching.
Okay. So apparently I'm a Dallas fan now. Been an Eagles fan since I was 10
Hey,
years old.
We'll take you, sunshine. We'll take you.
I don't want it. Look at me in my
come wear the blue and silver, baby. Come wear the blue and silver.
It's Go Birds and nobody else. No, it's incredible. But another name that I think that is a little bit of hot water when we look at production, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is entering his 10th year with the Dallas Cowboys as their head man. They have not been overall great in the playoffs under Dak. And in terms of offensive production, it's been there. In the regular season, Dak has had multiple multi-touchdown years with, a year having 31 touchdowns. He had a year with 21 touchdowns. So the production is there, right? Especially during the regular season. You look back before the 7-10 season, the Dallas Cowboys were 12-5 3 years in a row, and we're competing with us on and off for, contention of the NFC East. That's why I'm so keen on that. If Dak Prescott is playing, the Dallas Cowboys are going to be competitive. But from a Cowboys fan's perspective, Dak's entering year 10, Joseph. He's got 2 playoff wins. 2! What does that mean to Dallas Cowboys fans?
I mean, it's frustrating, I mean, I'm a Dak believer. I got a Dak Prescott jersey. I stand 10 toes down for Rain Dakota Prescott. But
I'm not a Dallas fan.
It's frustrating, man. But everybody says Lamar is better, but Lamar has worse playoff performances than Dak. I'm just going to throw that out there. No, it's frustrating. He's 2-5 in 10 years. We need more production. And I mean, me personally, I don't think it's a make or break year because he's not going anywhere. But he's definitely got to show something.
That's where we're going to disagree, Joseph. Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Make or break, Joseph. He's got 2 playoff wins. How can it not be make or break?
Because they're not going to get rid of him. They're paying him too much to get rid of him. He's got a no trade clause. Like, you can't, unless he agrees to a trade, you're not trading him.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think that, year 10, you got 2 playoff wins.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got to start producing. You've got to start. It's the same situation we see with Lamar. You play great all the way in the regular season, then you get to the playoffs and you drop a duck. You've got to bring that level of intensity to the playoffs. We got to think. It's been 30 years since the Dallas Cowboys have been to an NFC championship, and that's not a dig. That's just the cold hard facts. Cowboys fans want to get back to that era where Dallas was actually competing for chips. The brand of Dallas used to mean something in terms of championships. And it's almost like Jerry has now turned it more into a sideshow than, a championship squad. And I think that we look at what Dak Prescott has done in 10 years and he's not even close. I just think that if he can't get it done this year, you got George Pickens, you got CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully you can get some out of your running back room out of Jadon Blue and Javonte Williams. But you've got to do something, and it's got to be soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you turn to Joe Milton. I know he's been turning heads in training camp. He's been throwing some deep bombs and stuff. Maybe you take a gamble and draft a quarterback and hope they hit. But I mean, if they got Joe Milton, he's young. You don't trade him if you're not going to go with him in the long run if Dak happens to not work out. So I think you got to give Joe Milton.
A&B Sports says stop. The madness needs to stop. I do believe he is a Cowboys fan. Listen, A&B, crazy things going on in Dallas, Texas right now. Crazy things. That's what me and Joseph are on here talking about. But
I think this is the Micah Parsons thing is probably like the last big star that's been traded since Herschel Walker. Well, not traded, but wanting to be traded since Herschel Walker.
Right. Yeah, man, and I think you look at it's just I feel like Dak, it's a make or break in my opinion as an outside fan. Like, I'm an Eagles fan, so obviously I hate Dallas. But as a football fan, looking on the outside looking in, if it's me, right? We have at Philly, we have gotten rid of quarterbacks with way less years for their playoff play than Dak. So I feel like this is a year where Dak, if Dak can't get it done, if you're Jerry Jones, you've got to start thinking, do we go with Milton Williams?
Joe Milton,
Joe Milton, who's a young guy with a cannon for an arm. Do we look for a quarterback in one of these drafts? Because I don't think Dallas is going to do bad enough that they're going to get a shot at Archie Manning.
That's what I'm saying. We're not going to get a premier quarterback out of the college ranks. So I mean, you either got to sign a young guy like somebody or just test your luck with Joe Milton. I only said it's not a make or break year because he's been here 10 years and. I mean, he's broke more than he's broke more than he's made. So I mean, can't really do much worse. So I mean,
that honestly, that is fair. And touch on what Dak's camp has looked like up to this point.
He's actually looked really well. He's so they're doing more option plays with him where he's actually running with the ball. He's doing more scrambling plays. He actually had a race with CeeDee Lamb, and he didn't beat him, but he came close to beating him. But yeah, no, he's done pretty well in camp as far as not getting hurt. He's thrown some good deep balls to George Pickens. So everything's looking good for Dak on the training camp side.
And yeah, I think that, when you look at that's some things that Cowboys fans want to hear, right? That Dak Prescott's getting into a rhythm. He's hitting George Pickens early and often. I mean, George Pickens, I knew he was going to make the Dallas receiving core better. He's going to take some of the heat off of CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully that, bleeds into the offense and makes the offense a little bit more potent. Time will have to tell. Dak is the equivalent of Tomlin as a head coach. It may be time for new scenery, says Down South Philly. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'd be inclined to agree just because of the 10 years. I mean, 2-5 playoff record, as you put on the screen there. Uh,
As you so elegantly put on the
I mean,
screen.
it may be time for a new change of scenery, but you never know what you got with Joe Milton. You don't know what you got in the draft with the quarterback. I think Joe Milton would be good for the Cowboys. I mean, he could throw the ball 80 yards and make it look effortless. So, I mean,
Right. And then we got Antonio, or my man Antonio, a Cowboys fan for life, seems to have a little bit of optimism there with you. And then down south again, I honestly think they put too much on Dak. When Dallas plays backups, they run the ball more and rely on defense. No need to throw 40 times a game if it's not working. Touch on that a little bit, Joseph.
so, I mean, when we had Zeke, we had a run game and we could run the ball 15, 20 times. But when you ain't got Zeke and you got freaking Rico Dowdle back there, you can't run the ball 20, 30 times a game. You got to rely on Dak to throw the ball. And that's what gets him hurt because the offensive line gets tired. And then you got to just bank on him with his legs. And he's not really that good with his legs since he broke his ankle.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that anytime you're throwing the football 40 times a game, if you're not the Cincinnati Bengals, you're probably in trouble, right? So I agree with you in that it's probably not, I don't know, a recipe for long-term success. I think I can agree with Down South there. But we also come from Philadelphia, where it's more of a run-heavy system, right? And you look in Dallas, Dallas likes to try to do that, but they haven't really had a two-headed monster since the years of Ezekiel Elliott, DeMarco Murray, those kind of cats that were really carrying the rushing offense for the Dallas Cowboys. But when we look at Dallas, I think that we do have a lot to be excited for as it pertains to Dak Prescott. My man Joseph just said training camp's looking good. He's gelling well with his brand new shiny receiver who is in the name of George Pickens. But as it pertains, I was just saying, Joseph, Dallas does want to be, I think, a run-first football team, but they don't have a consistent enough running game where they can split the carries like that. Us in Philly, we're used to that. That's the game plan.
Right.
We want to beat you up with the run and then allow Jalen to pick you apart with his arm.
Now I will say this. I have been seeing that outside of a couple days, a name you're familiar with, one Miles Sanders has been looking pretty good in training camp, as well as Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue has actually been taking first team reps with the Cowboys for the past week or this week. So maybe he'll get first team reps. Maybe Javonte Williams will probably be the starter, but Miles Sanders has been looking pretty good out there for the Cowboys, and he's made it very personal that he's trying to get back at the Eagles. So I mean.
Yeah, no, I've heard he's had a little bit to say about Philadelphia. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It confuses me. I don't think we ever showed Miles anything other than love in Philly.
I
So
thought you were nice to
that.
Miles Sanders, so I'm confused. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's trying to create, maybe a little bit of motivation out of nothing. But hey, man, best of luck to you. If that's how you get going, I'm not gonna hate. I'm not.
We've also used
Devontae
Turpin as a running back too. We've also used Devontae Turpin in some running backs. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got options. The problem is you don't have proven options, and I think that puts more pressure on Dak Prescott. You have Jake Ferguson. He's coming back. He did a lot of good things. He's a safety outlet for Dak, much like Dallas Goedert is for Jalen Hurts. So you've got Jake Ferguson.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb's a bona fide. He's a top 3, top 4 receiver in the NFL. You bring in George Pickens, who's a bona fide number 2. He was a number 1 in Pittsburgh. I don't necessarily know that he did anything that leads me to believe he's going to be this weaponizer, but he is a better receiver than what Dallas had. He makes Dallas better in the receiver.
He takes the pressure off of CD off. So,
absolutely.
Because if double team George Pickens is open, and then and if Pickens gets double teamed, then CeeDee Lamb's open. So
100% agree with you. And that kind of brings us into the final point that we're going to talk about. And this, we can kind of talk about, your hot points of camp, things you're excited for, the outlook of the Dallas Cowboys. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys are coming off of a year in which they went 7-10, and that is very much not the norm for Dallas. Dallas is very used to that 12-5, 11-6, 13-win teams, and they drop an egg, go 7-10. Dak Prescott doesn't play many games. He's very hurt, and you're rocking around with Cooper Rush for the majority of the year. And still, you still split with the Commanders with Cooper Rush, right? So there's still hope there. The Dallas Cowboys were 17th in points scored and 21st in points allowed, so very much middle of the road. when it came to scoring the football and allowing other teams to score it. So, I think that there's a lot left to be desired in Dallas. But let's talk about camp a little bit before we get into the true overlook of Dallas. Give me some things you're excited for about camp and some things that concern you.
What I'm excited about is this Brian Schottenheimer hire, man. Everybody was criticizing it and jumping the gun. Yes, he's never had coaching experience, but he's brought a different level of discipline and aggression to this team. They've had 3 or 4 fights in camp. He ended practice early a couple of days ago and made everybody, including the coaches, run gassers. Like, he's not playing. Jaden Blue's looking good. Kyer Elam had a change of scenery. He's looking like a shutdown corner through. I know it's just training camp, but in training camp, he's looking good. Our second round pick, Donovan Ezaraku, is also very good as well. He's bullying around Terrence Steele, and he was bullying around Tyler Smith before he unfortunately got hurt. Tyler Booker, the first round draft pick, is also throwing guys around. He threw around Mozzie Smith, but anybody could throw around Mozzie Smith. But no, camp's looking good. One thing I am kind of concerned about is our defensive tackle. We don't have a bona fide, defensive tackle as of now. Mozzie Smith is not really panning out. Jay Toya, who was, I think, our 6th round draft pick, has been taking some first team reps, and he's been doing fairly decent. But I think we need to go out and, we have Solomon Thomas too, who's not doing too bad either. But we probably need to go out and make a trade or find some way to get a better, defensive tackle than we currently have lined up right now. But there's more excitement than nervousness, except for the Micah Parsons stuff. But other than that, camp's looking pretty positive right now. Like I said, the Brian Schottenheimer hire is better than I expected it would be. I was nervous at first, but he's brought a different level of intensity, and the guys actually enjoy working with him. And no George Pickens crash out yet, so y'all have been wrong.
Listen. The George Pickens crash out's coming week 1. Week 1, he's going to be pissed in the link. He's going to be struggling to get catches. He's going to be in Guantanamo Bay. All right. So it's going to be a little rough for him in week 1. No, I'm just playing. I am excited to see what it brings to the offense. It's good to hear that Dallas is having a good camp because the NFC East is better when Dallas is more competitive. My man down south said, "How is the Great Wall of Tyler?" And Miles didn't want to leave. He may be a little salty that we decided not to pay him. I agree there. I think that we were just done with Miles Sanders. It was time for us to mutually part ways. Howie Roseman is not one to mince words. Once your time in Philly is done, we shake your hand, say thank you for your production, and send you on down the road. But
we did sign an offensive tackle. We signed Leo Collins, like it's 2016 again or whatever. So Leo Collins is on the Dallas Cowboys.
So I would say, has Dallas done more to improve their run defense than, like, say, Washington?
Yes, our defense has actually improved their defense tremendously, much more. We got Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn. We've done, even Dante Fowler coming in. I think we've done more to improve our defense than the Commanders have. Commanders got Von Miller out of the retirement home. So
I like the veteran presence he brings, but yeah, outside of that, he hasn't started a football game in 3 years, and he has 13 sacks over the course of 3 years. So I think that Von Miller does bring experience to that room, doesn't necessarily bring production. Sure. I don't think. So then we look at Dallas. You're coming off a 7-10 year. Now you're going to have, hopefully, healthy Dak Prescott. You've got CeeDee Lamb. You've got George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, a better offensive line. The offense looks like it's primed and ready to go. What are some things that Dallas needs to do to re-enter the conversation? And do you think they're going to be able to accomplish them in 2025?
We got to establish a run game. That's number one. We don't have the luxury of having a really good running back or great running back like, Philadelphia, Derrick Henry, and Baltimore, just anywhere really that have, good running backs. We don't have that luxury as of yet. So I think a run game is very important. Obviously, keeping Dak protected and healthy is a big one, and just making sure all of our pieces gel and just making sure we get Micah Parsons taken care of. That's going to be a big thing for us because Micah Parsons makes that defense better, and without him, we're not going to be as good as we can be with him. But I feel more confident with our defense this year to be successful without Parsons if he leaves compared to last year because of the pieces that we have added and the moves we've made. So,
yeah, that's a fair point. I think that, for me, I agree with you wholeheartedly. If Dallas cannot have a consistent run game, it's going to cause them to become extremely one-dimensional. which is going to become a problem, right? You need a consistent run game if you want your pass game to thrive. Second thing for me, they've got to be better in run defense. They were absolutely atrocious a year ago, 29th or 30th in the NFL. Very, very, very bad in run D. And if a team can run the football on you, they can beat you. You look at the Commanders, 28th in run D. We put 55 on them in a conference championship because Saquon Barkley was going for a crazy, amount of yards. So the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to find a run game offensively, because I really don't have that much worry that Dak isn't going to be able to throw it. He's shown us he can do it with less talented receivers. So the passing game is going to be fine, in my opinion, in Dallas. It's going to be, can they establish a consistent running game, and can the defense be better in run D? And when it's better in run D, will the back end hold up? Because at times, Dallas looked pretty good in the secondary. And then there were some games where you're scratching your head going, hey, man, like what happened? You got Trevon Diggs back there. You've got, what's his name? You have a good safety. I can't think of his name right now.
Malik Hooker.
Malik Hooker. I should know that. Ohio State cat.
Malik Hooker.
And another great player that my man down south talks about, Overshown, a young star in the making.
He actually won't come back. He won't come back till close to Thanksgiving, unfortunately, with the knee injury. So he's going to miss a good chunk of the season. Yeah. That's rough. Yeah,
that sucks. So we're going to talk about it here. You already know how I feel about it. I've got Philadelphia 12-5, 14-3. I put them at 14-3, but I have them in that range. When it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, I've got the Dallas Cowboys at 11-6, finishing second in the division. A lot of people are kind of upset with me about that because they're on the Commanders train. I think the Commanders are going to take a gigantic step back.
I do too.
I've got them at 9-8. I think that film exists on Jaden Daniels. The run game hasn't been much better, and I think that Dallas is just always competitive as long as Dak Prescott is healthy. And then the Giants round out the bottom dwellers at 3-14. They might win a few more games than that and make me look dumb, but that'll be okay if they do. So my question to you, Joseph, I want you to go ahead and tell me what prediction you have for the Dallas Cowboys this season in terms of record, and if they can, accomplish that in 2025.
Well, if we have Micah Parsons, I can see us getting 12-5 if Dak's healthy. If we don't have Parsons, I got us getting 10-11 wins. Again, if Dak stays healthy, I'd have us anywhere from the 10-12 win range. And we're probably not going to win the division because, as much as I hate to say it, the Eagles are just a better team. But there hasn't been a repeat winner in like 20-something years, so that potentially could happen. But I think we finish second and we do make the playoffs, but we probably end up losing in the first or second round like we normally do. So,
hey, if the man's anything, he's honest, and he is correct. There hasn't been a repeat. There has not been a repeat NFC East champion since 2004, and that was the Philadelphia Eagles. So it has been a really long time. Our division is usually extremely competitive. I've got him at 11-6. He's got him in that 10-11 win range as well, possibly even the 12 win range if Micah Parsons re-signs and plays. Joseph, the season's right around the corner, man. We're right there. We had a football game last night.
We got preseason next week. For the rest of the league starts next week.
We have football from now until February.
But the real one starts September. The real game is September 4th when the Cowboys go into Philly and ruin the banner night. So,
Whoa, hold on. See, now we're talking crazy. See, now my man thinks they're going to do the impossible. Because you got to remember, Dak is 3-3 in Philadelphia. He's not 6-1 like he is in Jerry's world. Now, I'll give you Jerry's world. I do think we're going to split with Dallas.
No,
we'll lose. I think we lose in Dallas. We beat you in Philly.
Outside of last year, we normally split, but last year y'all swept us because we didn't have Dak Prescott. So.
Yeah, the team was just rough a year ago, too. But I want to say a quick shout out to the sponsors. Thank you so much to the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection for making the Sports Lounge Media what it is. Thank you to the Sports Lounge Media for sponsoring Sports with Sunshine. We bring you all the NFL and sports news as it pertains to the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, the MLB, you name it. The Sports Lounge has it. All you have to do is go to www.sportsloungemedia.com, where you can find great shows like Sports with Sunshine, the Down South Philly Show. We even have a fantasy expert, the Marshall Experience. We have a sports betting expert at SLN Bets, and you can get the main show on Wednesdays and the weekends. Guys, the Sports Lounge Media is the place to get your sports media in any form that it exists. And guys, The NFL season's right around the corner, so you know what to do. Go over to the YouTube and subscribe to all of our channels. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I want to say thank you to Joseph for carving out time in your busy day to kind of
Yes,
just
sir.
talk some ball. And it looks like we're going to have a lot to talk about in the regular season, so maybe we'll definitely have you back on during week 1 for the Cowboys game. I'm excited. I know you're excited, but as for now, guys, that is going to conclude this episode of Sports with Sunshine. I want to say thank you to all the viewers that come out and support me on Mondays and Fridays. You guys are incredible. Again, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, share, drop that button, man. Come be a part of the best sports community on the media, powered by the best sports media entity on the internet, and that is the Sports Lounge Media. Joseph, my brother, it's right around the corner. I want to say thank you so much, and
I'm
as
excited.
for now, it's goodbye, but I'll see you guys soon, and go Birds.
Yes, sir. Go Cowboys.